The Arctic moon slipped behind clouds as a man entered the beast's cave beside the lake. Whimpering stirred his curiosity, and near the back of the cave he found the beast's pups. He armed himself and killed the pups. He went to leave, but saw the beast returning. Retreating to the back of the cave, he hid as the beast entered. But the beast stopped at the entrance and sniffed the air. The beast ran to the lake, plunged its head into the water, and clamped onto something. The beast struggled as it pulled a humanoid shadow from the lake, which caused the man hiding in the cave to fall dead, because it's believed the beast killed him by pulling out his soul, for nothing remains hidden from the beast. The beast was the Inuit's great wolf spirit, Amarok, and this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, and thank you for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, Episode 20, the Inuit's Great Wolf Spirit, Amarok. I am Kamuela Kaneshiro. Listeners, Legends from the Pacific is being considered for the Podcast Awards. So please go to podcastawards.com, select Nominate My Favorite Podcast, and nominate Legends from the Pacific for the 2 categories of People's Choice and Storyteller Drama. It's free to nominate us, but it is time sensitive, so please do this now. Later in this episode, shout outs to some of our fans, your featured song and Hawaiian word, but first, the Amarok. Spanning the Arctic from Greenland to Alaska are the Inuits, and the Amarok is one of their entities. Witnesses describe its physical form as a giant wolf or a direwolf with white fur. But unlike regular wolves, the Amarok hunts alone. There's another beast known as the Wahila, but it's inconclusive if the Wahila and Amarok are the same. I'd like to point out that the Amarok is not a Shunka Warakin or Amagurak. The Shunka Warakin seem to be closer to large hyenas, and Amagurak is the Inuit's trickster wolf god. So there is a difference between a wolf god and a wolf spirit. The Amarok came to being around the creation of man and woman. Humans were given healthy caribou to eat, but sick caribou overpopulated the feeding grounds. So the Amarok was sent to eat the weak. However, the Amarok will also attack foolish people who hunt at night. But the Amarok has also helped humans. It's said a boy wished to be stronger and called upon the spirit of strength. An Amarok appeared and hit the boy with its tail. This caused small bones to fall out of the child. The Amarok said the bones were preventing the child's growth. The Amarok trained the boy until he was able to beat 3 bears and became a champion of his village. Still to come, shout-outs to some of our fans, your featured song and Hawaiian word, but now, a story. The following is a Legends from the Pacific original story and is based on cultural testimony. He saw his sick wife when he closed his eyes and heard his child's coughing as he lumbered through the knee-high snow with his kill in the moonlight. He pushed himself during the calm to make it home before the blizzard resumed. He remembered earlier today how his sick wife wanted to reward his hard work by cooking for him, but she was sicker than she thought and accidentally ruined their food. He wasn't mad and embraced her as she apologized. It was late, but they needed food. He was a hunter like his Inuit ancestors and felt his hunt would be successful. His wife begged him not to go, but they knew he needed to. He longed to see his wife and child, but he was getting tired, and the moonlit illuminated snow encouraged him to close his eyes. But seeing his sick wife broke the trance. In the woods at his side, lurking animals' eyes reflected the light. The hunter suspected they kept their distance because they sensed the approaching storm. Fatigue buckled his legs, and he fell. He cursed, but noticed a paw print larger than his glove. He thought it was a bear, but realized it was wolf tracks that led behind him. Yards away on a rise sat a wolf watching him. Its white fur glowed in the moonlight. Its eyes were black holes, and the distance made it look normal-sized, which meant the animal was massive. Fear dropped in his stomach, and he said, "Amarok." The wolf answered by standing and stepping towards him, but stopped at the rise's edge. The hunter sidestepped. The Amarok lowered its head. The hunter took another step. The Amarok showed its teeth. Its growl was a low hum. The hunter glanced to the trees. The animals were gone. Facing the rise, the Amarok was also gone. The hunter was alone. The Amarok's growling whispered in his ear. The lone hunter stumbled as he rushed through the snow. The wind-sprinkling snowflakes announced the approaching blizzard. Trudging through the snow, he considered dropping his kill, but his wife and child needed it to survive. In the trees at his side, the Amarok's outline blurred as it seemed to run over the deep snow drifts. The hunter stopped stepping over the snow and plowed through it. Gusts brought heavy snow, but he couldn't hear the wind over the Amarok's growling. His cabin was in the clearing. Snapping branches pierced the growling, and he was shoved to his left by truck-sized heavy snow pouring beside him from a tree's broken branches. He scrambled to avoid a frozen entombment. The howling blizzard blended with the growling as he dashed for the cabin. The hunter entered, but struggled closing the door against forces battling to get in. The door began to close as his wife helped him. Once closed, she bolted the door. He embraced her and welcomed hearing his crying child. The hunter shared his experience with his wife. She was Inuit, but didn't believe in the ways of their past. She suggested he experienced snow blindness. He agreed, but never told her about the large wolf tracks that circled their cabin the following morning. Coming up is shoutouts to some of our fans, your featured song, and Hawaiian word. Listeners, please nominate Legends from the Pacific for the Podcast Awards. Just go to podcastawards.com, select Nominate My Favorite Podcast, sign up, and nominate Legends from the Pacific for the 2 Podcast Award categories of People's Choice and Storyteller Drama. Links to the Podcast Awards website can be found in our show notes or on our website. It's free to nominate us, but it is time sensitive, so please do this now. Today, the Amarok has been seen in the video games Zoo Tycoon 2 and Terraria. There's music software Amarok, and in 2010, Volkswagen created a pickup truck named Amarok that's available outside the US. Interestingly enough, many have witnessed seeing the Amarok, but some have not reported their encounters. Zoologists stated, if these reports are true, this might be the return of a direwolf or another prehistoric predator. If you like what you heard, please give us a rating, write a review, and share Legends from the Pacific with your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. Please don't forget to nominate Legends from the Pacific for the Podcast Awards. I'd like to say mahalo to our listener, Beck, who's shared us on social media and helped spread the word about our show. Also, mahalo to our listeners who have taken the time to write in asking about my paranormal experiences. While I've shared some of my paranormal encounters, I've been working on dedicated episodes about my experiences, which will be released in the next few months. So, stay tuned. Our theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Sound effects are by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy, aka DJ TripleBypass. Links and show notes can be found on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, including a link to your featured song, which is One Day Soon by Ernie Cruz Jr., courtesy of High Sessions. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kanashiro. I also wrote our original stories. Your featured Hawaiian word is maka. Maka means eye. An example for maka would be sunglasses protect your makas. Once again, maka is Hawaiian for eye. Thank you very much for listening. Mahalo and ahui ho.
One day soon I'll wake up and find your loving smile ever on my mind.